Okay, so today we're diving into a really unsettling internet mystery. Picture this. You're on Reddit, maybe scrolling through old stuff. There's this user, handles sex, booze, guns, what is best in life. Quite memorable. They're looking at an old post they made years ago on the Hobbit subreddit. Pretty standard stuff. But then they see a reply, and it's weird, like really weird.
Yeah, not what you'd expect on a Tolkien forum.
Exactly. It's from an account called Matad_Aleph. And the message is nonsense, like poetic gibberish almost. Makes no sense at all.
Strange little digital breadcrumb.
Right. So naturally, this user gets curious. I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. You have to click, right?
You would. So they follow it. And it leads them to this private subreddit called Matad Crucible. Sounds kind of ominous already. But then things get really freaky. Shortly after finding this private group, their personal cell phone rings. Unknown number.
Oh.
They let it go. 2 minutes later, it rings again. Same thing. This time, they answer. Dead air. Just silence. But right before they hang up, this robotic female voice says, clear as day, get verified, make no attempt to avoid collection.
Okay, that is genuinely chilling. Avoid collection. What does that even mean?
Exactly. And from there, the user's updates just got worse. They talked about feeling watched, strange things happening at home. It all builds up to this final terrifying post where they claim 209 people are outside his house in shiny black suits.
Whoa. Okay, that's intense.
Super intense. Now, here's the kicker. This whole story started on the NoSleep subreddit.
Ah, right. So context is important there.
Very important. For anyone who doesn't know, NoSleep is for horror fiction, but the rule is everyone, writers, commenters, has to act like it's 100% real.
It creates this really immersive, sometimes genuinely scary atmosphere.
It does. But this Matad Crucible story, it kind of jumped the tracks. It went beyond just a scary story and sparked this huge real-world investigation among Reddit users trying to figure out what Matad Crucible actually was.
People wanted answers. Was it real? Was it fiction?
That's what we're digging into today. We're going to unpack the theories, look at what people found, and try to figure out what we know, and maybe more importantly, what we don't know about Matad Crucible.
And what makes this one so fascinating is exactly that blur. How something presented as fiction, digital folklore, can suddenly feel like it has real-world teeth. It taps into that fundamental curiosity about the unknown, especially when it hints at something darker, something bigger.
Definitely.
This whole thing just shows how fast these digital threads can unravel into something genuinely unsettling, creates real fear, real investigation.
It's that power of collective belief online, isn't it? And that drive to solve the puzzle, even if the puzzle is designed to freak you out.
Exactly.
So understanding no sleep is key. That rule, everything is true. It's what makes stories there hit different. It feels real, even when you know it's supposed to be fiction.
Right. It's performance art, almost, but with horror.
And that specific atmosphere was the perfect breeding ground for Matad Crucible, all starting from that one weird reply.
So once the story was out there, people immediately started trying to find out about the subreddit itself, Matad Crucible.
What did they find?
Well, it was initially private, which suggests, a closed group. But later, apparently, the original members abandoned it, and it became public. That's when the sleuths could really get in.
Okay.
The key thing was the usernames. Lots of members had names starting with Matada. Most of those accounts, maybe unsurprisingly, got deleted later on.
Covering cracks?
Could be. And the content inside. It was bizarre, a total mess, really. People reported seeing tons of pictures labeled specimen.
Like lab samples.
Descriptions varied wildly. Some said it was like porn with weird filters. Others called it genuinely gruesome porn. But then mixed in with all that unsettling stuff were just random pictures like burritos, puppies.
Burritos and puppies, alongside gruesome porn.
Yeah. It makes no sense, right? Or maybe it does make sense, just in a coded way we don't understand. Or maybe it was just chaos.
That mix is so weird, it actually makes it more unsettling somehow. That strangeness, that feeling that something was off, it directly led to a whole new community popping up, right?
The NoSleep Sleuths subreddit.
Yeah, dedicated just to solving these kinds of internet mysteries coming out of NoSleep. It really shows how people need to find the truth, or at least an answer, even if it starts as fiction.
That drive is powerful. They wanted to know, is this just a story, or is something darker actually happening behind the scenes?
So inevitably, theories started flying around in the sleuth community.
Oh yeah, lots of them. One user posted what they called a pragmatic analysis. Their first thought, which seemed pretty logical, was it's an ARG, an alternate reality game.
Makes sense. Cryptic clues, online puzzles, fits the bill.
Right. ARGs use the real world, online platforms, hidden messages. It seemed like a good fit initially. But this user dug deeper. They noticed the way MC Matad Crucible operated changed quite a bit over the 7 months they were active. That inconsistency was a bit weird for a planned ARG.
Oh, okay. So not a smooth operation.
Not really. And the biggest red flag for the ARG theory was the steganography.
Steganography.
Yeah.
That's hiding data inside images, right?
Exactly. Hiding messages or files within other files like JPEGs. The Matad Crucible images seem to have hidden data, but according to this user, it was basically uncrackable. There were no clues, no puzzles, no keys given out.
Which for a game is kind of pointless. You want people to solve it.
Precisely. A game runner, a puppet master, usually wants people to progress. Hiding stuff permanently doesn't fit an ARG model. So this user proposed 2 possibilities. One, it's just trolls who don't really know how to run an ARG properly. They're just doing it, for kicks to watch the hysteria on Reddit.
Plausible. Troll's gonna troll.
Or, and here's where it gets dark again, it was an actual crime organization using Reddit to send communications to and from agents.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge leap from trolls. People even compared it to Lake City quiet violence, didn't they?
They did. Another really disturbing online mystery with potential real-world connections. This theory suggested those weird specimen images weren't just random gore.
What, like evidence?
Some people went there suggesting the group was involved in, like, kidnapping, murder, experiments, based on the images. But a slightly more grounded take was that the images were maybe stolen or just a distraction. The real stuff was the hidden data.
The stuff hidden in the images.
Yeah. Suspected to be info about, drugs, weapons, maybe even human trafficking, using Reddit as a hidden comms channel right under everyone's noses.
That is a chilling thought, hiding in plain sight.
Then you get theories that are even more specific, almost like something out of a spy novel.
Oh.
One theory proposed Matad was actually a Chechen KGB communication protocol.
Chechen KGB, seriously?
Yeah, very specific. The idea was it was used to send intel and locations to rebel commanders, specifically in Ukraine.
What was the evidence for that?
Well, observers noted that most of the Matad accounts seemed to pop up just before the conflict in Ukraine escalated. And some members apparently knew Russian.
Circumstantial, but interesting timing.
The person who floated this theory gave a serious warning, too, basically. Tread carefully. Don't poke around unless you know how to cover your tracks online, because you don't know if it's real agents or just very good trolls.
Good advice, either way, probably.
Apparently, someone took it seriously enough to send their findings, whatever decryption progress they'd made, to the FBI.
Wow.
And the source had this funny, kind of dark comment. Stop being hipsters. Use the deep web like everybody else. Like, stop using Reddit for your secret communications.
Okay, that's darkly amusing. So from espionage to, what else did people come up with? The internet's got to have weirder theories, right?
No, definitely. There was one theory, totally unverified, no real source given, but it floated around.
Let me guess. Aliens.
Not quite that far, but still pretty out there.
Yeah.
It suggested Matad Crucible was just a group of 26 people, somewhere in the Midwest U.S., involved in BDSM.
BDSM. How did they connect that to the weird posts and images?
That's the thing. There was no clear connection offered. It just appeared as a theory. Maybe someone interpreted the specimen images or the filtered porn that way. Who knows? It's just another layer of weirdness in the whole thing.
Just adds to the confusion, really. What about more? Official-sounding conspiracies. CIA. That always comes up.
Yep, that one was in the mix, too. A user on NoSleep Sleuths was convinced it was a CIA operation.
Any reason why?
Well, remember, Matar Elif, the account that started it all with the reply on the Hobbit post?
Yeah.
They actually did an AMA and Ask Me Anything on Reddit. And in it, they claimed they were working on a new way to hide data in JPEGs and other images.
Okay. But someone pointed out that's just steganography, right? Which isn't new.
Exactly. Someone immediately called them out and saying, that's just steganography. It's been around. So was it a genuine new development? Was it a cover story?
Yeah.
Or just someone trying to sound impressive and mysterious?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
It feeds into that whole shadowy organization narrative, though.
It does. And speaking of shadowy organizations, there's the Masonic theory.
Ah, the Masons, of course.
One user shared a story about meeting someone at a summer camp in Oregon back in 2014 who supposedly admitted to being in a Masonic group.
Okay. Seems random.
Well, later, this user apparently messaged that person on Reddit and asked them straight up, does Matad Crucible mean anything to you? The person allegedly replied yes, and then just shut down the conversation. refused to say anything more.
That's intriguing, if true. Masons do use codes and symbols.
Right. They have a history of codes, religious references, secrecy.
Yeah.
So you could see how someone might connect that to the cryptic stuff in Matad Crucible. Maybe it was some kind of internal communication or ritual.
It's another possibility in this huge pile of possibilities. But what did the investigation eventually point to as, like, the most likely explanation?
Well, according to the sources we looked at, the theory that gained the most traction, the one presented as the most likely answer, is it was all just a game.
Back to the ARG idea, kinda.
Sort of, yeah. Someone asked about Matad Crucible in a different subreddit called Aura of the Loop. They got a reply saying, basically, yeah, as far as I can tell, it's a game, organized by someone called FB User 24 on the Reddit Bureau of Cryptic Investigations.
FB User 24.
So people started digging into this FB User 24, and they found evidence that this person had actually talked about wanting to set up a big internet game, an ARG. Then they apparently made a new account, Mathematical Bear, which led back to that Aura of the Loop subreddit. It all seemed to loop back to this one person planning an online game.
So it all circles back to being deliberately constructed.
It looks that way, according to this line of investigation. And the name itself, Matada, or Matan, apparently means kill or slaughter in Spanish.
So kill crucible or slaughter crucible. Pretty dramatic name for a game.
Very dramatic. But, even if it was just a game, you have to admit, whoever ran it did a seriously good job of blurring the lines. They made it feel real, made it feel dangerous. That's why it caught on, why it got so creepy.
Yeah, the execution was undeniably effective, game or not. It tapped into real fears. So let's recap. We started with this completely bizarre reply on a Hobbit subreddit that led to a private group, a chilling phone call with a robotic voice, and this terrifying image of 200 people in black suits outside someone's house.
Just classic internet nightmare fuel.
Totally. And from there, the theories just exploded. Was it a game gone wrong? Trolls having fun? A real criminal organization?
Chechen spies using Reddit.
A niche BDSM group.
Oh.
The CIA testing steganography. Masons sending secret messages.
Or the most likely candidate, an elaborate, well-designed internet game.
It's a wild ride through speculation, isn't it? And the definitive answer, well, it's still kind of murky, lost in that digital fog.
And I think that's what makes mysteries like this stick around. They show us how weird the internet can be, how quickly stories can mutate and spread, how something ambiguous online can generate real anxiety, real investigation. And it really highlights our, human need to solve puzzles, to find answers, even if the answer is just, it was a game, or maybe something more unsettling.
Even if the clues involve gruesome pictures and random burritos.
Right. It speaks to our curiosity, our willingness to dive into these digital rabbit holes.
It really does. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? About that line online, where does entertainment stop and reality, or at least real anxiety, begin?
Yeah.
How much do we actually know about who's behind the curtain, pulling the strings on these internet mysteries we get caught up in?
That's the question, isn't it? Food for thought.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the unsettling enigma of the Matad Crucible. If you found this story as creepy and compelling as we did, please do give us a like, share this with fellow mystery enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We've got more chilling tales and investigations coming your way.
Thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed the journey into the strange side of the internet. See you next time.